Hey there everyone, it's Matt, and today we're going to talk about the information and specifications of the brand new 5th generation iPod Touch. It's going to match a lot of the same aspects, at least the screen is, that the brand new iPhone 5 is, but there's a few specifications that of course the iPod Touch is only going to have. First of all, it does not have a cellular connection or any kind of data connection. It's still just going to stay with Wi-Fi to connect you around your house. Of course, it has Bluetooth, but it's had it for a while. So the first new thing that you're going to be able to see is that instead of the shiny back that the previous generations have had, 4th and below, that really caught a lot of scratches and got dirty really quickly, it's going to be replaced with anodized aluminum. It's going to be a great finish, a very lightweight finish. It's the same finish that the MacBook Air has and the whole MacBook line has. And of course, what you'll see is it comes in colors now. Just kind of like the Nanos used to and still do and in the future will. You can get it in black, silver, blue, yellow, and red. The black having a black front and all the other colors having a white front. Unfortunately, there is no white all around like the iPhone. More things on the outside that you can see. It has a brand new camera that juts out just a little bit in the upper left hand back, and it has a loop holder for basically a camera strap on the bottom left. You can see in the upper right hand corner that there is a plastic spot that's of course for the Wi-Fi, so you can get reception with the Wi-Fi. Moving next to the camera in the upper left hand corner, we have an amazing feature. I use my iPod Touch a lot for pictures, even if it's bad. I use it for Instagram, but we finally have a flash on it. Unfortunately, this camera does not autofocus. It still has a 5 megapixel sensor, but you have this LED flash that will help you out in low light situations. It's going to be great. On the top and the bottom, of course on the top you have your power and sleep button, which it still has, but brand new on the bottom you have the lightning connector. It's a very small 9-pin connector that magnetically connects, and you can put it in either way. The orientation does not matter. So it's a very good thing to make these Apple products smaller. Additionally, it has your headphone jack and your speakers at the bottom. But here's what you really care about. Like the iPhone 5, although people say it will use the same technology, it, and has in the past, has always had a much poorer viewing angle than their iPhone counterparts. If you ever have the chance to put an iPhone, let's say the iPhone 4S and the iPod Touch 4th generation, and turn them to see what the viewing angle is, the iPod Touch never was really well. We'll see if they fix that, but as of now, they say they use the same technology, but you've seen in the past that they do not. But one thing it does share with the brand new iPhone 5 is it now has a 4-inch Retina display. You can see everything in widescreen. You can watch your movies with no black bars around it. And what they've done is they've just made it longer. They have not made it any wider, so you can still fit in one hand. If you've held an iPod Touch or an iPhone, you're going to hold it exactly the same way. It's just going to be a little bit longer. And of course, this model, the 5th generation, it's thinner and lighter than the past generation. It's being promoted as a very capable camera, and it says that because of the ionized aluminum back, you can take it out on some crazy nights. It does have a sweep panorama mode, which seems to capture pictures very nicely, and now it records in 1080p, up from 720p from the last generation. It now has the dual-core A5 chip that we found in the iPhone 4S and the iPad 3rd generation. Fortunately, it does not have the A6 processor, but the iPod Touch has always been a generation behind in processing power. Still very fast, it'll help you play your games and watch your movies and make everything crisper, and will hopefully at least sustain the battery life. because of this more powerful processor. Of course, it promotes videos and music and everything on here. But another thing that you get with the iPod Touch 5th generation are the brand new Apple EarPods. They sound great. I tried them out in an Apple store. They sound really great. They look kind of odd, and they are not made of any kind of silicone material or anything that would fit in your ear. They're still all plastic. You'll have to see if these work out for you. I like them a lot, and they're a big upgrade from what you had. Much better fidelity with the sound that comes out. But you're just going to have to see if you like these yourselves. A lot of times people will continue to upgrade to Beats or Bose if they want a better listening experience. The new applications that come with this are the same that will come with your iPhone, except unfortunately you'll be less capable of using these. And one of the main features is maps and turn-by-turn navigation. We'll see how that works with no cellular connection, because in the past I can't use my iPod Touch Google Maps without having a Wi-Fi connection. And on my iPad I can't use it without having a 3G or 4G connection. So we'll see how that works. A big feature that's coming is Siri is coming to the iPod Touch 5th generation. You can do everything you can with the iPhone 4S, and now you can check out sports scores, check out apple.com for a video to see what that's all about. So a lot of brand new features, including Siri. AirPlay is also included because it has Bluetooth, and you can use the mirroring feature to hold your iPod in your hand and watch it with an Apple TV, compatible TV, in your living room or wherever you are. Again, we'll talk about the very small connector. It's if you have a new MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, you know these kind of connectors that will easily go in and out with a magnetic connection and don't have any physical parts that latch in, so there's less of a chance of things breaking. Also, something that you will care about, because I've broken a lot of docked connectors in the back. So now on to the size, weight, and all the features and specs that you'll care about, and then finally at the end, the price. Here we are with the height is going to be 4.8 inches, 123.4 millimeters. The width is 2.31 inches and 58.6 millimeters. The depth is 0.24 inches and 6.1 millimeters. The weight is 3.1 ounces, and that's 88 grams. All around, it is lighter than the previous generation iPod Touch, but it has a whole lot more inside. And a lot had to do with a new dock connector that allowed the space to be allowed things to be packed in there really tightly. Capacities are 32 gigabytes and 64 gigabytes. No 16 gigabytes on the new one. You'll have to go and use an iPod Touch 4th generation, which they still do sell at a reduced rate. But we'll see here. It does have wireless. Its Bluetooth technology, or its Wi-Fi technology, is 802.11 ABGN Wi-Fi, 802.11 and 264 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. It does have Bluetooth 4.0. It has maps, location-based service, and it has your Nike Plus support built right in. The display information, again, 4-inch diagonal widescreen display with a multi-touch IPS technology, just like in the previous versions. Of course, it's a Retina display. Its pixel resolution is 1136 by 640 at 326 pixels per inch. Its contrast ratio is 800:1, which it says is typical. The max brightness, if you want to know about this, I'm not sure what this means, but it's 500 CD by M2 max brightness. And it does say it's coating on the outside, the aluminum on the back. It's fingerprint resistant oleophobic coating. Now for the camera information. It has a 5 megapixel iSight camera. iSight's an Apple brand. If you want to take a look at that, research it up. It does have autofocus, but it doesn't have automatic autofocus. It doesn't seem to have that. So we'll see what that's about. It has tap-to-focus video or still images. It is backside illuminated. Has a hybrid IR filter, 5-element lens. It does have that LED flash, which is really big. It has an f by 2.4 aperture. Has face detection, panorama, HDR mode, HD video recording at 1080p with up to 30 frames per second with audio. It has a FaceTime HD camera with a 1.2 M photos in HD in the front. So that's a very good thing because previously it did not have a good front-facing camera or rear-facing camera for that fact either. It has video stabilization, tap-to-control exposure for videos or stills, and photo and video geotagging over Wi-Fi. Now we're going to take a look at the input and output. It has that brand new Lightning connector with 9 pins, which is reversible. It has a 3.5mm stereo headphone jack, which has had forever a built-in speaker and microphone. Looking at the external buttons and connectors, it has your FaceTime camera on the front, your volume up and down on the left side, your home button on the front, the on-off sleep-wake button on the upper right top. You have your eyesight camera on the rear on the upper left, your microphone right next to it, and you have your LED flash to the right of it. Okay, and then on the bottom left you have your iPod Touch Loop, which is a brand new feature. And on the bottom of the device you have your Lightning connector in the middle, you have your 3.5mm stereo headphone jack on the left side, and the built-in speaker on the right. Here's a good thing that we're going to talk about, the power and battery. It's a built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery, and the music playback time is up to 40 hours when fully charged. Video playback time is up to 8 hours when fully charged, and the charging times are fast charge in about 2 hours to 80% capacity, and full charge in about 4 hours. The audio playback frequency response is 20Hz to 20,000 Hz, and the audio formats it supports are AAC, protected AAC, HE to AAC, MP3, MP3BR, and different audible formats. And of course it has a user configurable maximum volume limit, so you don't blow out your ears. Its TV and video specs are H.264 video, up to 720p. Even though it can record in 1080, it can't play it back, which is kind of odd. It's at 30 frames per second, which is good, and average, same as the last time. It can play MPEG-4 videos at up to 2.5 megabytes per second, 640 by 800 pixels, 30 frames per second. And it does have AirPlay mirroring to Apple TV support at 720p. And it says at AirPlay video streaming to Apple TV 3rd generation at up to 1080p. And Apple TV 2nd generation up to 720. Included in the box are your new Apple EarPods, which are very good and a major upgrade. The sensors on the device are a 3-axis gyro along with your accelerometer, same as the previous generation. So this has been information and specifications on the brand new iPod Touch, a major upgrade from the previous, and basically it's done a lot in terms of the camera. You can still buy the old iPod Touch 4th generation starting at $199 at 16 gigabytes. You can get 32 gigabytes for $249. But the brand new iPod starts at $299, and of course you can get 2 capacities. This has been Matt, and we've been talking about and giving information and specifications on the brand new 5th generation iPod Touch from Apple. This is Creative Reviews. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, WordPress. Let me know if you like this or not, and I'll see you next time.